Hello, and welcome to the next episode of the Spirit and Soul podcast. I am your host, Tiffany Cohen, and today we have truly one of my favorite people in the world, one of my such close friends, Cris Gordon, founder of CB Communications, and I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, Cris, we have a story, and then I can't wait to share a little bit about that. But first of all, I just want you to share with everybody, talk to them about you, what you do for women, and just all the things.
Oh my God. Well, thank you. First off, I'm so excited. This is like a podcast that I listen to. Everything you do, I love. I've been so honored to be a part of your journey and transformation as you continue to grow your brand and business. So I'm just happy to be here today. I founded CB Communications about 8 years ago. We are a PR lifestyle wellness PR agency, and we have a specialty in helping women, thought leaders, and founders tell their story and really elevate their own presence, right? So we have an executive brand presence program that essentially teaches them to become that next version of themselves, the woman that they want to see on stage, speaking at TEDx, doing podcasts, going on, Forbes magazine, and all of the amazing things. And we essentially walk our clients through that process and help them get there. So I'm very passionate about that PR work. And I would consider myself not only a publicist, because that's something that's very natural to me, but really a brand strategist, right? I like to think about the founder, the brand as a whole, and how can we really make an impact for their audience or for their consumer or for whomever it is that they're trying to attract. And it's something that I've loved to do for years and years. And then I got to start my business and do it in a big way. So yeah.
And she's so good at it. Let's be real. There's honestly, there's no one better in this industry that I've ever seen or met like Cris, you. And the thing is that Cris puts heart into everything that she does. She sees people's visions and she gets it. She gets the vision and goes all in on it. And that's what I feel like just makes you so different and so just amazing at what you do. Truly.
It means a lot to me because, PR can be a really interesting landscape. People don't really understand what it is. Even from when I was younger, my mom was like, "Are you writing the articles? Is that what you do?" And I'm like, "No, I'm pitching my clients." And so it's one of those fields that I feel like is hard to pull back the curtain on. And also a lot of publicists can be seen as kind of spin masters, right? People that just kind of add a lot of fluff to the story to make it look interesting or cool. And I really wanted to lead with integrity with my clients. I wanted to make sure that their storytelling was authentic. And also I'm the most transparent person you'll ever meet. I'm I'm not a bullshit artist. If you are ever going to work with me, you're going to know that you get what you get. If we're having a hard time pitching something, if the angle's not working, it's my job to work with you so that we can come up with something that's going to hit, right? And so I think that's where a lot of publicists or PR agencies can really go, I think, into PR needs a lot of PR, if I can just say that. The industry of PR needs a lot of PRing because I feel like it gets a bad rap. And that's usually because people don't feel like they have somebody in their corner that isn't just working for the money or for the monthly retainer, but is truly interested in helping grow their brand and understand what it is that they need to do. And is also telling them hey, maybe this isn't your time for PR. And so that's the other piece of the puzzle that I always like to bring into it. And then I really just lead with team first. My team is everything. They're so important to me. And I believe that if you have a team that loves what they do, that they're going to service the clients better. And so you really need to think about team. And that's something I've noticed about your business. We have a lot of aligned values in that way.
Absolutely.
Team first. It's team first because then client, it's not client second. It's client and team become one.
Yeah.
And the client feels so taken care of by the team. And so that's just a completely different method of doing business that gets really lost, especially in my industry. It gets really lost. Teams are often really overworked and burnt out. And that was just something that I knew when I started CB I wouldn't stand for.
Yeah. I mean, I think too with teams, it's you have to understand that those teams, they're running your business with you. They're in the trenches with you. They're doing the work with you. And it's you have to give them that credit for being there. So I am so much about my team. I say it all the time, I could never have spirit and soul. I can never do the things that I do without my team. This wouldn't exist without them. So it's just we're so lucky that we have the most amazing teams too. They get it.
They get it.
They get it. Your team has to get your mission.
And I always
Right?
talk
Like-
about that, like a mission and core values. Like I went through a core values exercise very early on in my business to identify what was really important to me. And I picked my 3 kind of core values, and they're family, wholeheartedness, and success. And I say yes or no to things based on those core values. And I really encourage brand founders, people, everyone to do that, because at the end of the day, it will guide you in a lot of decisions, but also it's something that you can share with your team, and then they're bought into those core values. And there has to be some alignment. Same thing like with choosing clients and your customer base. It's like, do they align with the energy that I bring? Do they align with the mission that I have? And ultimately, am I following a track that's going to lead me to the North Star that is like my guiding light throughout the whole process? And then everything kind of works out as long as you have that in the back of your mind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to talk for a minute about, because I want you to tell your story about how you got into all this, but I'm like, I can't wait to tell the story of like us and how we start, like, because it's almost a year now of working
I was
together,
thinking about
I can't believe it.
because of the Lionsgate coming up.
Yeah.
I was like, this is very like ceremonious for me. Like, I'm like, I need to go back to Lionsgate and like keep manifesting, because I've been big on manifesting my entire life. But when I was younger, I didn't really know exactly what it was called. I just knew that if I wanted something, I would just say I was going to get it.
Yeah.
And then I would always get it.
Yeah. It's like a very Gemini thing though.
Yeah,
and we're Gemini.
Gemini sisters.
I feel like it is though a Gemini thing. Like
Yes.
even my niece and nephew, they're like that. They're like, I manifested this. I'm like, you sure did, honey.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Chicka Gemini. There we go.
But so basically what with Cris and I is that Cris came in like a year. So last year we started working together. So the year before that, and she's like, oh my God, the shop's so cute. And we were talking together. We almost worked on a project together, and then that was it. And then we kind of just like kept in touch or a little bit here and there. And then
like maybe we should do like a breath work, or maybe we should do like a pulling cards with the team. I always was kind of thinking like, how can I incorporate something that Spirit and Soul offers into my team, because I really loved what you were doing and I loved the shop and it was so beautiful. And then we kind of just like, okay, we put it on the back burner, both of us.
Yeah. Because we weren't ready for each other yet. And then Lionsgate came around, and Cris signed up for Lionsgate, and she was sitting there. You got one of like the cushy seats in the front.
I was
she got
so
in.
pregnant. I was, what was I 8 months pregnant? I was 8 months pregnant. I was like waddling in, and everyone's like, where do you want to sit?
Yeah,
it was packed.
I'm like, give her a seat.
Lionsgate, that's like, it's
Lionsgate
amazing. It was so packed.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, all of your classes are fantastic. That I was like, oh my God, is this what it's like here? All these women, like everyone's like, they're like, take off your shoes, you have your socks, and you're sitting in this beautiful. I'm like, I'm like, where am I? This is amazing. And I need to like live here. I'm moving in. And then I basically did move in.
Yeah. Because then after that, so now I also had a different PR person at this point, and she really, wasn't really living up to what I thought that things would look like and whatever. And I was just like, Cris strolls in through the door, and I was like, because it's supposed to be Cris, and for whatever reason, it's just like me and this other woman, it was like through mutual friends, and it just like kind of happened. And then because I wasn't ready for Cris yet, and that is alignment. And then the moment that Cris and I started working, like Cris, I was like, hey, I like sent her a text. I was like, hey, like, do you think you could jump on a call? She's like, I'll jump on right now. She had everything set up. She's like, okay, I've been thinking about this. I manifested this. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. And by that point, I think I had you had me booked on a podcast at that point. You had everything like set. And I had like,
I was like, you need to show up here and be here
and be there.
And you were just like, yes. And that's what I love that energy too, because it's like, has to be this layer of like trust pretty quickly, and that can be really hard. And listen, so many people, when they're trying to find the right PR for them, they jump into opportunities because they're getting their footing for it, and it's okay. That's all a part of the experience, right? Because PR is very personal in the end, and you usually find that through going through the experience. That at the end of the day, when you start to change your business and start to invest in certain things, you're going to have to choose services based on what ends up fitting in the moment that you are going to, not the moment you're just in, the place that you're going to. And also, PR is deeply personal. Like, you need to have a publicist that gets you, understands the service. And so there's just so many factors. It doesn't make people right or wrong for you or bad or good. It just makes it something that you have to choose based on your goals and visions. And also, like, the feeling you get when I'm a big believer that like, I believe when I meet my clients, I'm like, I know my client. Like, it's like, we're like little magnets to each other, you know? And I think that that's a business lesson in general. And it's also an energy lesson. It's like, if the energy is not right, run.
Yeah. And that is what happened to me, but I didn't run. And I know energy and I know that, but I'm like, oh, but right. And the logical mind will always kick in. So this is even with clients, with anything like that. When that logical mind is like, oh, but even if you're feeling that feeling inside, like you really got to listen to that feeling inside. And I didn't with the other person. And like, I knew it at the end. I was like, oh, I knew it was going to happen. And then with Cris, it was just like a magnet, truly was. And it was like, of course, because I'm ready now. Because it's time.
And timing, like
it's
divine timing.
Exactly.
You changed my life, my business. Like that Lionsgate portal was so transformative. I don't even know how much of this I told you, but when I was like journaling and going through the process that day, I wrote down 100K by baby. I really wanted to have my business make 100K in revenue. Now I have a 7-figure business. It's not that far off from what I make anyway. So I want to say in manifesting, I do feel like if you shoot way too high, it's harder to get there in a certain time frame. Mm-hmm. You have to also manifest realistic things within what you're able to control in a certain amount of time. I feel like, and you can kind of jump in on that.
Because it's always this or something better, right? So if you say this or something better, then you get more than what you got, than what you wrote down. Beautiful.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly. So I wrote down, did we have like bay leaves or something? We had something. Okay.
Yep.
Bay leaves. And I wrote down 100K by baby. That's the revenue that I wanted to pull in. And my baby was coming. It was like we were in the last couple of weeks. And I did that. I surpassed that. And it was, I think, because I really went inward and like did all that meditation, but I also like started to adapt the practice consistently. I used to meditate when I was pregnant with my second. I now have 4, but when I was pregnant with my second, I meditated every single day, twice a day for like 275 days. I was on a streak. Yeah. It was really like, I was very, very religious about it. And then I kind of fell off because life got busy. I had a second kid and I had a third kid. And then I was pregnant with my 4th and I was like, I need to get back into it because you start to lose yourself a little and then you can bring it back to that. Yeah. So I went to that Lionsgate. I wrote that down on my bay leaf. I surpassed that manifestation. And I always make a joke though, because I said, well, I should have gotten very clear on my manifestation, 100K by baby, without having to do like any work, because it was a hustle for that 100K. It was a hustle. I mean, I was working my ass off, but I made it and surpassed it. And so it was great. And that was really like what helped me change my mindset into like what I now know is manifesting. Because I think my whole life I was setting my eyes on something and saying, oh, I'm going to get this.
Like you were goal setting.
Yes. Goal setting, but really big, lofty goals. Yeah. Like not just like, oh, I want to get this promotion. It's like, no, I'm going to start a company. And then it's like, I started a company and my company is going to be the best agency in like beauty and lifestyle. And then it was. And then I got like Bulgari and Estee Lauder brands. And it was like, that wasn't even surprising to me because I said I was going to get it. Yeah. But I didn't really like know that that was me just like putting that energy out into the universe and then like attracting it until Lionsgate, when I really started to go into that practice in a more consistent way. And then like from there, everything changed. I mean, I had my beautiful baby and Frank made me a wonderful candle and I had my like crystal bracelets that protected me and I had a home birth and it was amazing. And I went through a lot of different classes leading up to that birth to just like mentally prepare to be like the woman I wanted to be, to bring my son into the world at home, safe. And so you really just created like a really safe space for me to have like a second home. And now I meditate every single week with Brittany in the sky loft and it's beautiful. But it became such a big part of my routine. And it also invited me into your world so that I can represent you even better. Yeah. And I can get you to where your business, like spirit and soul, it's like, everybody watch out. If you're watching this, like get in now. Cause this is just the beginning. And what she has in store is out of this world and it's on a fast track. And so I feel really honored to be by your side, but also it's because I got to see this and experience it that I'm able to represent you even better, right? Like we need to live and breathe our work and believe in the people that we're representing and believe in what we are doing in our businesses. You're a great reflection of that. You believe in everything and you really pour your heart into these products and you pick everything so beautifully from all around the world and it shows. And that's just something that you can't fake. you know?
No.
And that's why I feel like our business philosophies are very similar.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Cris, thank you so much, first of all, for saying that. And I just would not want to be on this journey without you, honestly. Like, this journey would not be the same. I wouldn't be where I am right now without you. Like, you have done so much for me personally as a friend, but also for Spirit and Soul and for where things are going. And you've like almost like are like the rocket fuel for me. Like,
I have a lot of energy. I'm always like, okay. My best friend always says, she's like, Cris, you're like a train and the train is just running. And she's like, and some people, they can't keep up with the train and they try to grab on and they just can't. She's like, I'm just jumping on and I'm holding on for dear life. She's like, even though my feet are like swinging behind me, she's like, I'm just going on the Cris train, because at the end of the day, she's like, wherever you're going is going to be great. But I bring a lot of energy and a lot of passion. And sometimes it's a lot, but finding people that can reach that level of energy and not be intimidated by it means that they're like supposed to be doing the big things, because I don't want to do big things alone, right? I want to do them with the people that I love and care about. And that's always how I will be. And so even though I bring a lot of that like really scary, crazy high energy, I want to bring the people with me that I care about along for the ride.
Oh, I love that. So talk to me about, because you said like you've been manifesting your whole life and you didn't realize it. Talk to me about now, like how do you bring energy or bring that work into your business, and has it shifted it? Has it changed it in any way?
Absolutely. Okay. So we have a lot of what I would consider some like rituals at our office with the team. You know, we do card polls. We try to do them once a week, at least, to like kind of set the tone for the week. We pick a card and that's going to kind of be how we show up. And so we have a lot of amazing decks from Spirit and Soul, and the girls get really into it now. And they're like, you know, and then we have our candles. We light our candle, especially when we have like client work that we have like really deep work that we have to do, or we have the money candle for whenever I'm writing proposals, the success candle for whenever we want to have a really successful media training day. And what I find is that it really just like holds the energy of whatever your intention is. So if we're like, this is going to be a long day, and a lot of the work that I do is really labor intensive, especially when I'm media training someone or doing a content day. It's like, I have to essentially become the person that I'm media training in order to show them how they need to show up. Because a lot of the times clients see my energy like, Cris, I want to be like you. And I'm like, no. You want to be like you. And so I often have to show up in the version of themselves they want to see, instead of them seeing Cris, because then it's like they're always going to compare. Like, I just want to have energy like you all the time. And I want to be really outgoing like you. And I'm like, don't try to be somebody. It's not going to come off authentic. And in PR, authenticity is everything. Try to be the best version of you. So I'll usually get to know their messaging. I'll understand their business on a really, really deep level. And then the day of the media trainings, which are like 8 hours long.
Yeah.
I will be able to recite their messaging. I'll be able to show them, tweak their body language, and really allow them to step into it. But it's a lot of energy for me to hold. And so I find that a lot of these rituals that we've incorporated help me keep that energy very high. Wow. And I was noticing before, I had like the ritual of like lighting the candle and getting centered and pulling a card before I would get more drained. Now we actually like incorporate our clients with it. I mean, you've come and you've done amazing work with some of our clients to help them visualize the next step of their life. And our clients love it so much. I work with really, really high powered 7 to 9 figure entrepreneurs, really big CEOs, businesses. I've worked with brands like Google and, you know, all of these amazing beauty brands, like I said, Estee Lauder, and Tiffany has come and done that work for these executives. And it makes a huge difference in how they show up. And so I would be crazy if I didn't incorporate it myself. I'm like, give me all the things. It's like, I'm like, give me my Tiffany fix. Yeah. But really, because I have noticed such a difference in them and myself, and then also the team, right? Like how we show up together and how they're able to feel grounded, because PR is a grind. It is a lot of crazy work. We travel nationwide, and for us to be able to like take a second, light a candle, light an incense, cinnamon.
Yeah, cinnamon it is.
Cinnamon.
I love it.
Have our crystals. I mean, my whole office. I mean, Brittany came and redesigned my office. I was like, I need to like have it be more intentional and feel like me. The second I did that, I'm not even kidding you, the things that started happening in my business were wild. I mean, revenue increased, of course, like revenue increased 3 times. The opportunities I got were far greater. The clients that we were able to attract and bring in, tenfold. I mean, it was just another level, because I got really clear on what it is that I wanted, how I wanted my business to be perceived and the energy that I wanted to bring into the world with what we do as an agency. And then I sealed it in with all these practices, and I showed up daily as that person, right? And so it was astonishing how different everything. I mean, even like I see the team, they show up different now. Like the way they dress, the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they answer emails, the confidence that they have. And so I just feel like it was like the missing link. Your work was almost able to put like a name, that spiritual work, to like the thing that I was always already kind of doing. Like I said about like manifesting, not knowing that that's what it was.
Right.
The second I realized like that's what it was and I can actually do it more intentionally, it fast tracked everything in my life. Right. And I'm talking like millions of dollars fast tracked, not like find $5 on the floor, even though that's great. And I did find $25 on the floor. Like the first day I said the 100K to a baby, I found like $25 on the floor. And I was like,
I'm on my way.
I was like, okay, 25 minus $100,000.
All right, we're getting there.
I was like, it's all right. Put it in the piggy bank. But these are bigger results. And so having that type of energy in your atmosphere and being able to like stick with it, show up consistently, and continue to hold that frequency is a game changer. And we won't even talk about the deep work you have to do in order to really get there, because that's like a whole nother. But you also can't do the big things without doing the deep work too.
It's mandatory. And Cris has been putting in the work. She's been putting in that work, that healing work, and it's showing in all of your results because it's clearing the way for all of the big things to come.
And you want to know something? I feel like my business growing, the opportunities that we've had as business, the opportunities my team has had because of it, and all of the amazing things that are happening is like the cherry on top. The real difference that I've seen is like me showing up differently as a wife, as a mom. I have 4 children, and like I need to hold a lot of energy for those kids. And therefore I need to be my best self. And there's, generational patterns that we have because of our upbringing. I'm firstborn daughter, so that's a whole nother like layered thing. I have a lot of pressure that I put on myself. And there was just a lot of barriers that I had to break down in order for me to step into that next version, I think, of myself too. And so you have to put in the work to get there. And it's not easy. It actually can be hard and it can be really scary. But the second you do it, everything else starts to just make more sense and fall into place. And you feel more at ease and like more, I don't know, just like ready to take on life and happier and a little bit more settled. And like I said, I'm such a crazy energy, and I have a really like, that I actually needed to feel a little bit more grounded sometimes while still holding my energy, which I think is a big challenge because I'm never going to be that person that's like, okay, I'm just going to sit down and be so zen and I need time by myself. I actually recharge when I'm with people, which is really different. If I'm alone, I'm like, this doesn't feel like me. And it puts me a little bit too out of my element. So I get recharged when I'm in an element where I'm like talking to a lot of people, sometimes like 100 people. I'm like, yes, this is me. But that's also a very hard energy to keep up with. So learning tactics that can help me feel more myself has been critical in my own personal growth and development. And like, truthfully, just like being the best mom that I can be. I think that's my best and favorite job that I have and will ever have. So second to being someone's wife, but being their mom is like the ultimate. And so me as like a natural person that wants to like excel in everything, motherhood is like that. It's the top thing that I want to excel in.
Yeah. And you're amazing at it. You're an amazing mother. Can you talk about your book?
Yes, I can.
Speaking of mothers.
Yes. Okay. Which it has been so fun. Everyone's been getting their book. I just launched a children's book called The Adventures of Mommy Marvelous. It is about a mom who the children think that she's kind of like moonlighting as a superhero. You don't really know. It's a first book in a series of multiple books. And throughout the book, you'll see the kids go off into their like own imaginations and just envision where mommy might be or what she might be doing. Maybe she's like off saving puppies from a building, or maybe she's speaking to superheroes at a huge conference and speaking on stage. So it kind of mirrors a lot of the things that I already do. Because I used to tell my kids like, okay, mommy's flying out tomorrow. And they didn't understand what that meant. And they'd also get sad. They'd be like, Mom, where are you going? And now I get to tell them a story about how there's a mommy who's so marvelous that she goes and she flies out, and then the kids can decide, is she flying like a superhero or maybe she's in a plane? We don't really know. And that's kind of the fun in it, right? It's like a choose your own adventure. You can decide if she's a superhero or if she's just a regular mom who's doing all of the amazing things, because at the end of the day, we are all super and we are all so marvelous. And the book started with my first two. They're in it. And the other two will continue as the book continues. But I said, mommy can't start with 4 kids.
Yeah.
Mommy's got to start with 2. I was like, I need other moms to know that whether you have 1, whether you have 2, like, you are amazing. Whether you're expecting, whether you're trying to conceive and you're wondering, like, am I going to be able to like run a business or have a high powered job and have kids? Like, this book is something that I wanted as a tool to help women see that we can do the thing that we love and not have to sacrifice or not have to compromise having a family, right? And you can do it all. It doesn't mean that you're going to be able to always balance it.
No, I don't think there is such thing as balance, to be quite honest with you.
No,
I think overall, this is my take on balance. I think if you pull up and really look at everything, I think you'll find that it's balanced.
Yes.
But I think in the moment when you're like zoomed in,
something's going to give.
It has to.
Yeah,
you can't,
it has to.
Like sometimes work is going to be the thing that you need to focus on. And then sometimes the family is going to be the thing you need to focus on. And then I think overall, it just balances itself out because you're intentional about it.
Yes. And most importantly, I try to tell other moms who are really trying to create these 7 and 9 figure big businesses that at the end of the day, all you have to do is say, there are some things that I just won't sacrifice. Mm-hmm. Figure out those things. Compromise will have to come.
Yeah.
But what are you not willing to sacrifice in order to get to where you want? Because guess what? If you are building a big business, I'm talking multi-million-dollar business, maybe you want to exit for a couple million, $1 billion. I mean, I have amazing friends and mentors who have exited their business for $1.2 billion. If you want to do that level of work and create something that large, you are going to have to compromise. There's just no way. You can't do every single thing to this level all the time. So when I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids. When I'm at work, I'm at work. When I'm on a business trip, I'm on a business trip. And I don't even FaceTime them. And it's sad. I make my husband send me videos, but I don't FaceTime them because what will happen is if I FaceTime them, now all of a sudden, like my mind won't be in it and I won't be able to excel the way I need to get business done. And then it'll throw my kids off. It'll be harder for my husband. And so we make certain boundaries and certain compromises so that I can continue to excel at the pace that I need to. And to be able to show up and feel like, okay, I'm here. And I'm happy. I'm not just set. It doesn't mean I don't miss my kids. Although sometimes a little break is a little nice. But it means that I'm not having to sacrifice, that all of a sudden I'm just doing everything like shit. Right? Like, and then I feel bad because I'm like, oh, I'm here. I'm all the way out here. And I flew across the country and now I'm not really in it.
Yeah.
And so then I left my kids and I did a shit job.
Yeah.
What's the point, right? It's like, if I'm going to be gone, be all in. And listen, I have a good partner and a great support system at home. That's an episode for another day, but I'm always very honest about the support systems you need around you. I automate everything in my life.
Yeah.
As Mommy Marvelous does. You have to remember that, like, even though you can be a superwoman and a superhero, you don't have to do it all yourself. I mean, superheroes have sidekicks for a reason.
Hell yeah.
And so that's kind of what my message always is to women, is like, have your team, have your publicist, have your team at your office, have your team at work, have your support system, your family. You need the people around you that allow you to be who you can be so that you can do the thing that like makes you feel you. And then you're the best version of yourself.
I love it. And I think that the whole thing, right, that's making you like so successful in every area of your life, it's like, be where your feet are. You are where your feet are. So if you are on a trip, you are on a trip. If you are home, you are home, right? And in doing that, you can be super intentional about what you're doing and where you're doing it. And that's
Absolutely.
where that magic really comes in. It's like, it literally all comes down to intention, you know, being intentional about every single thing you're doing and being in the moment with it.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. It's important. And it's important to be extremely present, especially in the work that I do, but with what we all do, right? It's like, if we are not present and we're distracted, then we're never really going to excel at the speed that we want to the place that we want to. And I think everyone's version of success is different. And, you know, your success doesn't have to look like mine, and hers and his doesn't have to look like theirs. But at the end of the day, like, defining what success is to you is an important part of this process, because it will start to guide all the things. That's what we talked about in the beginning. The mission, the North Star. Like, what is that? What are you working towards? It's going to start to guide your life, right? I mean, it's going to make things a lot easier to say no to, because I think everyone has a hard time saying no to things.
Yes.
But when you know your North Star and something is not for you, it'll be a hell no fast.
Yeah.
And you'll move on. Yeah. And you won't like lament over it. Right. I think like that's the other part. It's like, sometimes you say no and you're like, oh, but you didn't know if you should say yes or no. When you understand your mission and your own values and your North Star, it's like, no, that's not for me.
And that's it. And we can be okay with just saying no. No is, like, everybody says, like, oh, no is a complete sentence. No is also sometimes really hard to say.
Yeah.
It's really hard to say unless you know.
It's a complete sentence, but then also I'm like, no, but just because, so that you know, I mean, it's really hard to have no be a complete sentence.
No is never a complete sentence for me.
No, it's never for me either.
I'm like, tell me why.
Yes.
Or like, I have to tell you why.
100%. 100%. And my husband's always like, Cris, it can just be a no. I'm like, and listen, say no whichever way it makes sense for you, that you're going to feel good and feel some type of closure, but don't hold on to the fact that you said no and then like live in that regret, right? It's like, say no and move on, because you're wasting energy thinking about the thing that, is it right? Is it wrong? If you know your North Star, it's going to be like, it's a no. Great. I can keep going. Or it's a yes. And now I can jump in with both feet. And actually, I'm not as scared to jump in or take a risk, right? And it's like, when you're living in limbo feels far worse than saying no to shit that you don't want to do anyway.
I hate living in limbo. That is the worst feeling for me. I'm like, just let's go. One way or the other. Like, that in between is, but the in between, it's like that messy, I mean, in life, right? Yes. In life, it's that messy area of you figuring it out as you're getting to another level and all that stuff. But it's very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
Living in that messy middle.
There's a test there. There's a test in there somewhere, of course.
Yeah. And we don't like those tests, but they're important.
They are important. I always joke about my second born, Jack. He's my little wild child. And I'm always like, he was sent to me for a reason. I'm still trying to find out what that reason is, but it's certainly a test. Certainly. We'll see. In a couple of years, the test will reveal itself to me.
Oh my goodness. He's so cute.
He's so cute. Oh my God. He's the best little soul. He's like obsessed with me this morning. He goes, I wake up, I see him right there because of course he's in my room, in my bed. And I'm like, when did you even get here? It's like probably 3:00 in the morning. And he's like, Mom, are you going to Pilates this morning? I'm like, no, but I'm not going to Pilates this morning. Thanks for asking. I'm just waiting for him to say, and getting a green juice or a matcha, you know, like he's got my routine pretty down. Yeah. So it's just so funny. Oh my God. Oh my
God. So cute. All right, Cris, thank you. This was so amazing, this conversation. What would you have to say to somebody that's like on their journey? Maybe they're not on an entrepreneurial journey and they're just starting out and they're feeling like maybe that little bit of like, ooh, can I do this? Is it possible? Can I have all the things? What do you have to say to them?
That's a great question. All right. If you're listening to this and you have been wondering if it's time to take a leap of faith or take a risk. Now, it's coming from someone who's not risk averse at all, right? I'm a big risk taker, so keep that in mind. But if I can persuade you to come to the dark side and be a little bit less risk averse, my advice would be, if your heart is telling you to do something, it's there for a reason. You got to jump. You have to know that you will succeed. And you have to understand that the very thing that's scaring you, say you're gonna, leave a job, or you're ready to start a business and you have to invest, but you're like, what if I have to, wait tables or, do whatever in the meantime from my corporate job? And to you, that seems like it's such a different pace of life that you're not ready to go back to that to try and make ends meet. I would say the fact that you're scared that you will fail is the very reason that you will not fail. Because a little bit of fear is good. It keeps us on our toes, right? Like we have to feel a little scared. Yeah. That's what gives us the fire to keep going. And so whatever it is that's scaring you, I mean, I started my business when I had just bought my house and I had a mortgage and I left my job, my fantastic job at a beauty company. And I was like, no, I'm doing this. And I was like, no, but I have a mortgage and will I be able to afford my house? And oh my God, like I don't even have kids. At the point I didn't have kids yet, but I want a family. All of the things that were scaring me actually lit a fire under my ass because I'm like, I have a house, right? I have a life I want to live, a big life. And you'll never let yourself down. You won't. So you just have to trust yourself.
Yeah. You know how you will let yourself down? If you give in to the fear and if you never do it. That is the one-way ticket to letting yourself down. If you never do it, if you just sit there and just like, oh, and then you're going to be sitting there at, on your deathbed saying, what if?
Well, that's like what they say is like, say there's a cost for taking that risk, right? Well, what's the cost for not doing it? Yeah. There is a cost for the things that we never follow through on or the risks that we never take. And the cost of staying exactly the same to me was never worth it.
No,
ever.
Nope.
So,
never.
Do the big things and then come to Spirit and Soul and get all the crystals and surround yourself with all the right energy, because all of these things combined will really like catapult your success.
Oh my gosh, Cris, thank you so much. Thank you for being a fantastic person, a fantastic friend.
Oh my God,
a fantastic,
I love you so much.
Publicist, strategist, all the things that you do for me, for Spirit and Soul. And just, I appreciate you and love you so much.
Right back at you.
Thank you. Love you. And thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode of the Spirit and Soul podcast. I want to hear from you. So what is it that really lit you up today? What really just got you going? Make sure that you're reaching out to us at Spirit and Soul Studio. And of course, make sure that you are following Cris.
Yes, you can follow me at Cris Gordon PR on Instagram or chrisgordon.com or cbcommunications.com.
So make sure that you are following along and let Cris know, what did she say that maybe really lit you up? Because there was so many nuggets in there. And please, of course, leave a review. We always appreciate that. It really helps us. And I'll see you on the next episode of the Spirit and Soul podcast.